A pregnant shelter cat had just given birth when the volunteers noticed a strange kitten among her babies. This was just the beginning of a shocking series of events. In 1987, a shelter in Montana had just received a stray cat that was found in a sewer. She was a truly sorry sight when they brought her in. Her fur was matted. She was dangerously skinny, and she barely had enough energy to stand on her own. Whatever had happened to this cat, it must have been challenging, and the shelter workers knew it would take a lot of work to get her back to good health. They made sure she was well fed and taken care of. To make sure there were no hidden illnesses, the shelter called the vet to examine her. The animal doctor revealed the cat was not just severely malnourished and dirty, but also pregnant. Everyone's heart broke hearing this. For animals, even cats, pregnancy can be a very stressful and demanding period. They were worried she wouldn't be strong enough to make it through to deliver, but they did their best to help. The shelter workers and volunteers named the pregnant cat Jenny and gave her a little extra care since she was almost at full term. At first, the cat was wary of everyone at the shelter, but things changed with time. Jenny slowly adjusted to her new environment as the volunteers kept a close watch on her to make sure she was doing fine. Much to their delight, the pregnant feline soon loosened up and started playing with the other cats at the shelter. After a few weeks, she was very different from the scared, scrawny furball that had come in. This made the volunteers very happy. One day, only a few weeks after they brought her in, the volunteers noticed that something was different about their new guest. The pregnant cat barely touched any food and was very restless. She kept pacing and howling at intervals. This was not the first time the volunteers would witness a cat birth, and they immediately recognized the signals of her impending labor. The workers had already prepared a nesting area for her, and when the time came, they sprang into action. One volunteer carried the restless, laboring cat to her spot and left her to deliver as she pleased. It was important to not interfere with the birthing process, but they were watching from a distance in case any complications might arise. After 2 long hours of labor, the cat gave birth to 5 perfectly adorable kittens on her own. Everyone at the shelter was happy for the beautiful babies. They all had their mother's color and looked very cute as they nursed at her side. Small, adorable, and amusing, these kittens stole the hearts of all the workers. However, as they grew older, the volunteers noticed that one of them was slightly different from the rest. In fact, over the weeks, the difference became too jarring not to notice. Everyone had questions, lots of questions, but they couldn't exactly ask the mama cat why her one kitten looked odd. There was something different about this kitten's fur. It looked like someone had rolled a curling brush through its coat, leaving an uninterrupted pattern of uniform curls. They had never seen anything like it, and while the cat's fur was so beautiful and exotic, they were worried about what could be the cause. Was it a genetic mutation? Could it be some disease they'd never heard about? Did it affect the quality of the kitten's life? Was it infectious? They had all these questions and no one but the vet to turn to. Unfortunately, he couldn't help either. The doctor, in fact, had never seen anything like that and so could not help them. After examining the kitten, he assured them that the cat was perfectly fine and that this feature, no matter how strange it was, did not affect her health. The volunteers were relieved by this news, which, however, did nothing to quell their curiosity. At a loss for what to do, the shelter invited Jerry Newman, a popular local Persian breeder, to take a look at the curly-haired cat. Jerry was eager to see the spectacular kitten that they had been talking about non-stop, and immediately accepted their invitation. Nothing could have prepared her for what she saw at the shelter. She had never seen anything like this in all her years of breeding cats. The kitten had such strange curls in her fur and was more beautiful than any other feline she'd ever set her eyes on. The surprised breeder fell instantly in love and ended up adopting the kitten for herself. Apart from the fact that it was such a gorgeous animal, she wanted to figure out what breed it was and what it meant for cat breeding in the future. After introducing the kitten to its new home, the breeder kept a close eye on the cat to see if anyone was giving the newcomer any trouble. Much to her surprise, they accepted the curly-haired baby as one of them quickly. Despite how much of an oddball it was, it seemed to fit right in. Newman could not understand how this happened so easily, but she was glad. She named the kitten Mr. Pesto. Everyone wanted to see Mr. Pesto and play with her because of her unique look. She was an affectionate cat and always enjoyed these interactions, which allowed her to soak up all the love and attention. When Mr. Pesto was mature enough, Newman decided it was time to try breeding her. She was curious about whether the cat's curly fur was a dominant trait that she would carry on to her offspring. Mr. Pesto and a purebred black Persian tomcat had always had chemistry. It was a no-brainer when Newman decided to put them together, hoping they would become partners. Selecting a pure breed was the best chance they had at retaining Mr. Pesto's curly fur trait, if at all she passed it down. When the female cat finally got pregnant, Newman was giddy with excitement. She could not wait to see her offspring. The breeder took extra care of the cat, careful to make her as comfortable and happy as possible. Newman had no idea that what she was doing would change the world of cat breeds as we know it forever. With her many years of experience as a cat breeder and caretaker, she knew that the big delivery day was coming very soon. The expert had already seen the telltale signs of a cat about to give birth. There was the restlessness, the pacing, and of course the excessive grooming and meowing. Also, the once voracious eater barely ate any food. The big day could be any day now. After a few days of anxiously waiting, the cat went into labor and gave birth to a litter of 6 beautiful kittens. Right then, something shocking happened. Newman noticed that all 6 babies had their mother's exquisite curls. It not only confirmed the curly gene could be passed from generation to generation, but that it was dominant and strong. Of course, the next thing to do after caring for the new mama cat and her babies was to call the vet. This was customary for Newman whenever there was a new delivery in her cattery. The doctor examined them and confirmed they were all in perfect health. She couldn't help but marvel at Newman's incredible bundle of curly-haired cats. And just like that, Newman had succeeded in doing something truly spectacular. This was the beginning of a new and extraordinary breed of cats. She decided to name the breed after her stepfather and called them the Selkirk Rex. Interestingly, this cat breed was actually the first and currently the only breed of cats named after an actual person. Newman was breaking a lot of records with her group of cats. The Selkirk Rex is known for their curly fur and their calm demeanor. They are also very friendly with children and relate well with other cats and dogs. Selkirk Rex cats took the internet by storm when pictures of them began to show up online. Now millions of people have come to know and love this breed for their unique look. They are proud residents of some of the most luxurious households, as their elegant curly fur fits the look of affluence. Who would have thought that a stray cat found in the sewer would be the origin of one of the most mesmerizing cat breeds on earth? The kindness of a few people led to the discovery of a new luxurious breed of cats. Would you like to own a Selkirk Rex one day? What would you do if your pet gave birth to a unique creature like Mr. Pesto? Tell us in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.